Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Donald, and Steve asked me to tell you my story.
Donald Whitehead Jr. is an activist and actor, two skills that converge to tell a compelling story about purpose and philanthropy. He currently serves as the executive director of the National Coalition for the Homeless and is one of the country's leading experts on homelessness. When he speaks, Whitehead often dresses as he did when he was homeless, using his acting skills to bring to life his story of wrestling with both sides of being unhoused.
I think our biggest obstacle is narrative. I think people see a portion of the population that may be struggling with some personal issues, but it's one of the smallest portions of the population. But people base their narrative, the way they think about homeless people, on that population.
Whitehead's narrative starts in Cincinnati, growing up in a house only big enough for one family, but 3 generations crammed into the small space, experiencing hardship, trauma, and eventually abuse.
There was terror in the household. I mean, we were completely traumatized. Some days we went to school with long sleeve shirts on because we didn't want people to see the whip marks.
That trauma affected the families in that household, so one day it escalated to something that no child should see.
Absolutely. That was my father and grandfather getting into an argument that just kept getting louder, kept escalating, and then my grandfather shot my father in front of me and my siblings.
The trauma continued. Whitehead had more battles to face.
My disease is a disease of addiction. Many times I was acting out because I just got the heck beat out of me the night before, and I needed to channel that somewhere.
Whitehead's disease got him tossed out of relatives' homes, several schools, and dismissed from the Navy.
Finally, I ran out of places, and I did become homeless.
In the 90s, he slept on park benches, in abandoned buildings, and cars, before finding his way to the Greater Cincinnati Coalition for the Homeless.
After I finished 6 months of treatment and volunteering at that coalition, they gave me a job. So I came up with the idea of a radio station, a television station, and a newspaper. And we actually developed all of those things, and it really boosted membership. And at that time I was very naive because I thought that I could solve homelessness if more people knew about it.
He also got to explore his acting skills at the coalition as he told the story of the insidious underbelly of homelessness.
20 cents for breakfast?
After improving his skills, he went on to win an Emmy.
This is what I think about your stupid ideas.
But instead of following his rising star to Hollywood, Whitehead chose to empower the most vulnerable part of society over the big screen.
I never knew that there were family and children homeless. We were finding families and children in the woods. And that really made an impression on me. And it made an impression that I couldn't ever leave.
Whitehead's advocacy grew. He began to design and operate shelters around the country, including in Prince George's County, where he personally housed more than 200 individuals. In 2016, he brought his crusade to the city of Laurel and eventually served as chairman of the city's homelessness task force.
I wanted to do something in Laurel because a lot of those people were here in Laurel. And I went to the mayor and I told him about the work I do. I gave him a copy of my book, and he read the book and called me and said, "Hey, I have a project for you."
I'm working in my previous job with DC Pretrial Services, the Coalition of Homeless, and so my whole advocate is like, hey, we can't have a shelter. We can have more than a shelter, and this is the building you see today.
That project was to design the Craig A. Moe Laurel Multiservice Center, an innovative design that offers more than a bed to sleep in for the night. It's about empowerment.
It is about empowerment, and everybody that becomes homeless, there is a barrier to their housing situation. Sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's domestic violence, sometimes it's substance abuse. But we need to do our best to address the issues of the whole person.
As more people face the prognosis of living on the street, Whitehead believes the Laurel Multiservice Center is the blueprint to reverse that trend through services.
That's awesome.
The most important things I see is there's a lot of workforce development. Because oftentimes that conversation is overlooked. So people do understand the need for housing, but they also they don't understand the need for poverty reduction, the need for people to get livable wage jobs, and for people to even, when we've given people direct income, it's resulted in positive outcomes. My congratulations to the team at the city and the engineers that put this together. They really did an excellent job of just following exactly what we had planned.
The person who was labeled the most unlikely to succeed will likely be the first to provide those challenged with homelessness with every possible resource to succeed. So for the month of November, National Homelessness Awareness Month, we shine the Laurel Community Spotlight on Donald Whitehead Jr.
People do not choose to be homeless. They are forced into homelessness.
the Executive Director of the National Coalition for the Homeless.
I've dedicated 60 years of my life to this work, and I've seen thousands of people be able to overcome whatever barriers forced them into homelessness.
I'm Joyce Jackson for Laurel TV.